Hi, everybody. This is Marilyn. Do we have any audio for this? Can everybody hear me? Maybe? Okay, great. Thanks. Um, Hello, everybody. This is Marilyn, and it's time for the noon edition of Welcome to My World. This is the 12th of May, and it is a Thursday. Um, So we've had a whole bunch of selling in the marketplace today. This morning has really been, it's just uniform across virtually everything, with the possible exception of the dollar, and it sure hasn't gone the other way very much. Anyway, let's see here. We've got Oh, I can't get my Forex factory up right now. See if it'll load now. Anyway, all of the indices seem to be pretty much in sync. They are uniform across the board. Just let's see, we've had two, three. This is the fourth hour. They're selling off. So where it will stop, nobody knows. But keep in mind that there are a lot of short contracts out. And at some point before these markets close, um, there's going to be some profit taking on these. And as soon as the profit taking starts, then it will come back up. I mean, to a degree, but don't get caught trying to short this at the bottom after 4 hours of going down and down and down unless you have a very clear signal and a good assumption it's going to go some more. You would need lots and lots of volume and very good signals for that. 4 hours worth of the same consistent selling and selling and selling will stop at some point, at least for today. Right now is pretty much lunchtime for the big boys, and so it might just sit here and chop around for a while. But going into the close, they're going to start pulling some of these contracts out. So anyway, even crude oil, this has sucked crude oil down with it. And interestingly enough, gold went up early this morning, and then it got caught up in this also. Pay attention to the fact that the VIX is up over 15, which it has not been for a while. It's trading 1540 right now, and the VIX it's the fear factor. So the higher the VIX goes, the more volatility and fear is likely to be in the market. And when it starts going up into the high teens and 20s, and I've seen it hold at 30 and 35 in the past for an extended period, like several weeks, the bears will be seriously in charge of everything. So let's see. We've had not a heck of a lot of news this morning, but tomorrow morning at 8:30, be aware there's going to be some news coming out. And this afternoon at 1:01 will be the long bond auction. So if you trade bonds or anything related to interest-bearing, interest rate sensitive types of stuff, yes, Jared, 8:30 Eastern. Everything in Apex happens Eastern time. So this is one of the reasons that Daryl strongly encourages everybody to have their computer set to Eastern time. And that keeps us all on the same page. If you don't do that, it gets your charts uh, kind of wonky and you can't figure out what time everybody else is talking about because we all try to stay on Eastern time for 5:30 in the morning. Yes, well, likely unless you get up really early, then you won't have to worry about being run over by the news bus at 8:30. Sometimes it can cause markets to really move, and my point about this is just don't let it come as a surprise to you because some people will get a really good signal on the apex patterns and everything. It just looks wonderful right about 8:20 or 8:25, and then all of a sudden 8:30 hits and bam, it's like, whoa, what happened here? You have to be aware of that, the news. And I don't mean, I'm not talking about, the talking heads on TV. I'm talking about the economic numbers releases, which are all on a schedule, and they're put out. Forex Factory has a good one. The Apex website has a couple of them, and the Apex website, I think a lot of people are not aware. Also, you can stream financial juice off of the Apex website also. And the 9:30 Eastern time is the open of most markets. Now there are other markets that open earlier, gold for instance, some of the commodities, um, and then some of the commodities open later. So, but we're talking about the indices. When we say the market open, we mean at 9:30, but the news comes out at 8:30. So sometimes people, when you get a really good signal and something's happening, looks great to you, then you can take a reasonable trade earlier in certain markets and certain currencies also. So there's always something to trade literally around the clock. There's always something. You just have to stop and think what time it is, where it is, that whatever you're looking at trading is going to be affected. Um, Typically, right now, the Aussie dollar is not moving a lot because everybody in Australia is asleep. So, but that changes, and sometimes the Aussie dollar can be a very good thing to trade, at 9, 10 o'clock at night if your time schedule is a little bit different. Yes, Scott, you're the exception to the rule. we have a we have a member in here in Australia that I don't know. I just don't know how people stay up all night. That's beyond me. But anyway, there was a lot of really good stuff posted in here this morning that Lori put in with marked up charts and all this super good stuff she's been working on, um, that'll help us all. I can hardly wait till this training thing is out to read CHOP a little better because CHOP is truly the enemy of most traders. And I hate CHOP. I hate CHOP. But if you can learn how to use it to your advantage, that's that's going to be huge for all of us. So, yeah, Lori says we're going to love CHOP. That remains to be seen on my part. If you can convince me that I love CHOP, then you will have convinced somebody because, God, I hate that. So, I like nice bus drivers. I like the bus driver to have a very clear signal about where he's going to go. and I want him to drive the same speed, and I want him to get on with it. Chop is just about the worst thing I can think of. And this hopefully it'll be a whole training course that will be on the website. It should be up fairly soon. I know Lori's been working really hard to get this pushed out because we're all waiting with bated breath. I know I am really looking forward to that. So there are so many good things coming. I mean, the Apex workshop back there in the back room, they are really knocking themselves out to produce some fabulous stuff. We may have to wait, till the end of the year or around the first of next year, but it just takes time to work all that stuff out, and the programming fellas are just all over all kinds of cool stuff. So anyway, we have a lot to look forward to. This is tomorrow's Friday. One of the big things that everybody needs to pay attention to on Friday is if you've had a good week, do not take a lot of risk tomorrow morning that you don't need to take and set yourself back for your gains of the whole week. Fridays can sometimes be a nemesis for people. So be careful about trading on Fridays. If you've had a really good week, the main thing is don't give it all back. That's the most important thing. Let's see, we've got another question in here. The iZone pops and a large green supporting bar that wasn't there. Brian, I'm not really sure what you're talking about with that, but what helps the most is if you can put a screenshot of a trade right in there for us. Somebody can take a look at that and point out. Yeah, so I see what you mean. Is a new green zone comes up that wasn't there. But there are other issues that you're probably not seeing or judging. So if you'll make a screenshot about where that's happened to you, and with arrows and marked spots, sometimes there are other things that can give you a hint that is likely to happen. And many times that can come with the time of day. It can come with volume that suddenly goes out or comes back in or whatever it is. There's a lot of just little things, and when you post those charts, if somebody can point out those things to you, then it's like, oh yes, light bulb goes on, and I have found that to be very helpful when I'm sitting there and I just cannot. And sometimes it's something really simple, and it's like, well, duh, I don't know why I didn't see that before. So it's a matter of getting another set of eyes on it. So anyway, I think that's about it for today. Pay attention to that bond auction at 1 o'clock if you're trading ZB. That's for sure. So I will see you all tomorrow. This has been my view from my world in Apex land, brought to you by Apex Investing. I'll see you tomorrow.